So first, they're asking for the median. Who can raise their hand and tell me one way that I can find the median? Jordan, put it in your calculator into data. Sure. How could I do it by hand? How could I do it by hand? You first, we need to put them in order. So when I do that, I go, okay, what's the smallest one? 12.
79.
78.
79.
Then 79.
81. 85.
81. 85. 88. Now I can cross out one at a time. So I'm trying to find the middle. So 1, 1, 2, 2. There's 2 in the middle. How do I find if there's 2 in the middle?
You add it and divide it by
Add it, then divide by 2. So you're finding the mean or the average of these two numbers. So what is 79 plus 81?
160.
Divided by 2.
80.
Perfect. Or I could figure out, okay, what number goes between 79 and 81? 80. Same thing. Oh, and I got 80. Cool. How do we find the mean? Remember when I was saying Jeremiah, what was I saying when I was being mean to Jeremiah? I said he was what at football? He was average at football, right? So mean is your average. So what you do, we add them all up. Oh yeah. And they do not need to be in order. Or if you did this on your calculator, this symbol that looks like this in your calculator, it's like number 2 or 3, that's your mean. But to do it by, if you in your calculator, when you're finding your median, that symbol right there with X with a line over it means your mean.
I was 7.something. Oh yeah, 70.
So I'm adding up. What you're really doing is adding up all the numbers.
70.9.
And then dividing by how many there are. So how many numbers are there? 6, right? So I add them all up and divide by 6. What do you end up getting? 70.5. Cool. And so even if you did it in your calculator, you could have scrolled to where there was a line above the X, that means mean, and it's still 70.5. Who of these two give me a thumbs up?
Me, but you never signed me off.
Awesome. So now what you're doing is we're going over here, and this is what we're going to be working on today. So it says, which one do you think represents the middle of the test scores of the class, the mean or the median? So we look at our scores. Which one is closer to what most of them are, 70.5 or 80? 80, right? 70.5 is way lower than most of those scores. What do you think has to do with the mean? Why do you think it's way lower? Looking at your data right there. Whose quiz made it go really low?
12.
That 12%. What's that called, Jeremiah?
Outline.
Outlier. So when there are outliers, we always use the median. Because the median, it doesn't affect it at all. We're just lining it up in order. So even if that 12 was a 50, it would affect the mean, it would not affect your median. So today we're going to be focusing on median versus mean. Which one are we going to use? And then justify your answer. What affected the average? What do we call it? Jeremiah just said
Outline.
it. The outlier. Good. So make sure you're writing this down. The outlier of 12 affects the mean, but not the median. Cool. So make sure you write that down on your paper. I'll give you a few seconds. So what we're learning today is when we use mean versus median. And so median is always if there's an outlier.
Wait, Miss Catherine.
Mean or median doesn't matter if there's no outlier. So if there was no outlier there, they would be pretty similar.
Okay.
Okay, so we're just going to take some simple notes. So go to your packet for today. Does everybody have one? This should all be reviewed. There shouldn't be anything new. The only thing new is what we kind of just went over in our ticket. Mean versus mean. So, describing data, first we're going to look at our shape. And so our three shapes we have are skewed, remember skewed to the left and skewed to the right. And that has to do if there is an outlier. So you're filling this in on your sheet. So skewed has to deal with, this is your notes for today. Does anyone need notes for some reason? Raise your hand. So the shape is talking about the distribution. We already went over this. But this is kind of like a little, almost review of what we've done. Anyone else need it? Anyone else need it? No? All right. So skewed, remember left and right, that means there's an outlier. We also have like bimodal. Remember bi means what? How many? Two. So when there's two bumps and symmetrical. So when it's symmetrical, it looks kind of like this, right? What is that called? What type of distribution?
Normal.
Yes. So when it's symmetric, it's normal distribution. We already went through this. When it's skewed, that means there's outliers. So when I'm looking at it, whatever way the tail is the way it's skewed. So what would this one be? Skewed to the what?
Left.
Left. Good. The tail is at the left. We're just kind of reviewing basically what we've done and then just adding on. But this way you have all of the notes on one sheet. So what would this be? Skewed to the what?
Right.
Right. Good. Skewed right. So whatever way the tail is. When it's normal, also the mean is pretty close or even equals the median. So if I were to do that ticket in the door, if those numbers were the same, if they were both 80, then I would know it's a normal distribution. But because there was an outlier and the mean didn't equal the median, I know it would be skewed. The other one was bimodal, and that's when it has two distinct peaks. So you remember that bi means two, so it looks something like this. Your data. That's like a histogram. The center of your data, where do we call the center of our data? We just did it in our ticket. Median, and what else? Median, or what was the other one we used? Mean. So we use median when there's outliers. When it's normal, it doesn't matter which one you use. They should be the same. When in doubt, use the median. And then spread is talking about your range and your interquartile range. So your range. What's your range? What minus what?
Q minus
That's your IQ
max
bar.
minus min.
Yeah. So max minus min is your range. Your interquartile range is your Q3 minus Q4. Those are your spreads. So remember, if I were to have that 12, that would make my spread a lot larger than if I were to have a 50, right? The spread would be not as large. So we have to look at the spread using those two things. Everyone have this down. I'll give you another like 30 seconds. And I want you to go through those little graphs on the bottom and see if you can write what they are. Are they skewed left, skewed right, bimodal, or are they normal distribution? It's like 5 different ones. So you're labeling them. You're going through all 5 of those tables. If you need this back up, I can put it up later. But right now you're going through these tables. There you go. So you're going through those tables and you're either writing skewed left, skewed right, bimodal, or normal distribution. So you're just labeling each one. They're on your paper. And I am going to call. Maybe another minute. So you're either labeling skewed left, skewed right, normal, or bimodal.
Does they call them the first one?
What?
They call them the first one.
Don't ask me. All right, Nyasha, what is the first one?
What is the forward left?
Skewed left. Perfect. How did you know that?
Because I see that it was, I don't know why I know.
Oh, I know.
Because it's like going down. Then it's like down, then going up, left.
Joe, how can you explain it to me? Good. The tail, this little guy right here, is on the left. Perfect. Jeremiah, what's this one?
Oh, symmetric.
Not exactly. This would have to be the same size.
School, right.
Skewed right, right? Because this is still the tail. So this would be, you're right, skewed right. The tail's on the right. Hugo, what's this? Not normal. Michael,
Right.
not skewed right.
Yeah,
It is
oh.
a little bit, but bimodal. So when it looks like this, where it's two bumps, it would be bimodal. Cool. What about this one? Gabrielle. What about this one? Good. How'd you get that? Because the tail is on the left, right? Perfect. And then, Divine, what's this last one? Divine. Good. Bimodal. Perfect. You got them all right. Beautiful. All right, so that was half the lesson. The other half is we're gonna be writing on the bottom real quick. And so when you're looking at center, put this down first. So median is less variable, and it's better measure of your center. So that's basically what we talked about before. We usually use the median no matter what, especially when there's outliers. So you're writing that at the bottom of that same page. So flip it back over. Some of you guys remember that. This is at the very bottom. So you're writing the median is less variable. Variable, remember, means changes. So like this weather has been very variable, right? Because it's been like 70, then it's been like 30. So that's when it changes a lot. Right here. Very bottom. So we usually use median when there's outliers or it's skewed. If the data is skewed, use median. If you already wrote that, that's fine. And if the data is symmetrical, so just adding on. If the data is symmetric, we use the mean or the median. That's because the mean should be pretty close or equal to the median. So that means that it's a normal distribution.
Oh boy.
And so like a lot of the milestone questions are based on just this lesson. Like most of them that you'll see are based on like, do we use the median or the mean? Cool. Does everyone have that down?
No.
Okay.
No.
No?
Yes.
I'll give you another like 30 seconds and then you're flipping it over. So we're going to start with number number 2. So we're going to start with number 2 on the back. It says Marie, and Tony are both in the same world history class. Here's Marie, and here's Tony. Their homework grades are given, and we want to compare the mean and median of each.
I think they got the same.
Yeah, they got the same meaning.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because they said
It's
order
not in the
already.
middle, 'cause it's not.
It's in order already, and it's in the middle. So if I go 1, 1, 2, 2, up, I know Marie's median is 9. And if I do the same thing here, I can see Tony's median is 9. How would I find the mean?
You gotta add it all up.
Uh-huh.
And then divide it out how many.
Beautiful.
Divided by
So,
five.
yep, so you add them all up and divide it by how many numbers there are, which are 5. Or you can always put it into your data, and that X with the line over it means mean. So it looks like this. Who got the first mean?
Mean?
Mean.
I'll think that is 1. It's between 8 and 9, right? It's 9.
It is 9. The first one is 9. What about the second one?
9. I can't see. 6.
Excuse me.
It's 8. It's 8. It's 8.
It's 8. Okay, cool. So, do you guys see how these means and median, do you see how Marie's are the same number? They're both 9. What type of distribution is hers?
Normal.
Normal distribution. So when they're equal, I know that this is a normal distribution. It doesn't matter which one I use, because no matter what, they're the same center. It doesn't matter. What about Tony? Is his scores the same?
No.
Why not? What about his scores? Do you see something a little odd? That's 3. So that means there's a what's that called? An outlier. So because of the outlier, the 3, what will we use the center of this? The mean or the median? When there's an outlier. Median. So when there's an outlier, we use the median. When it's normal, when they're the same, does it matter which one? No, because they're literally the same. It doesn't matter if I use the median or the mean. Does that make sense? And this is right on your packet. It looks a little different, but it's number 2 on your packet. All right, cool. Next one says spread. Do you guys see it right underneath? Spread.
No.
So spread looks like this.
Oh.
So you're just writing this down. Range shows the overall spread, which is the max minus the min. Interquartile range, or your IQR, is the spread of your middle percent of your data. So write that down where it says spread. This is like we're almost.
I can't see. Excuse me, what?
Excuse me, Miss Guys. Yeah, they're both part of your spread.
Oh, I got the first.
You just write IQR 50% middle for 50% of your data. So looking below, right here, see how there's 2 graphs? There's one like this and one right underneath. Does this affect, here's my minimum, I don't know why. Sometimes it looks like that. So here's your min and your max. Does it affect it, when I have an outlier, does it affect your range? Your max minus your min?
No.
Well, let's see. What's this min right here?
40.
40. So this guy's 40. What's this guy?
92.
like 94. So what's 94 minus 40? 54. Now let's figure it out if I were to have that outlier right there. What's this guy right here? Like 58, right? So 58 and 94. What's 98? 94 minus 58.
Wow, 40.
36.
36. So here's with the outlier, here's without it. Did it affect my range? Yes. So outliers affect your range. So is it affected by the outliers? Yes. What about interquartile range? That means from here to here.
No.
Is this affected whether I have that guy or not?
No.
No.
No. So the IQR is not affected by outliers. So the spread, the regular range is affected by outliers, but the interquartile range is not affected by outliers. So you're going to turn it to the next page. Go to the next page. And it looks like this.
It looks like that.
It looks like this. So first it says find the mean of the data. So what am I going to have to do with all those numbers? Add them and then what? Do it. Add them all up and divide by 5 and tell me what you get.
Oh, that's not good.
Yep.
Bro.
Did anyone find the mean yet?
It's 57,400.
Beautiful. 57,400 is my mean. How do you find the median?
In order and find the one great.
You can put it in order, at least the greatest, or remember, you can still put it in your calculator. What do you end up getting? Did anyone get the median?
What we doing?
35,000. Now, are those the same?
No.
No. So that means my data, is it skewed or normal?
It's huge.
It's skewed. I know it's going to be
Let's go.
skewed.
Good job, son.
And I know which way it's skewed because I'm looking at these salaries, right? Which salary is way above all the other ones?
160.
This one, right? 150,000. That's way above these. That's why the mean is so high. So it's skewed to the right because it's a really, really large number. And so it's skewed right. So what would I use, the mean or the median? Median. Always the median if it's an outlier.
You did.
And that's it. That's what we're doing. Does that make sense, what we're doing? Does anyone have any questions? No. So, now let's try example 2. So I'll give you a few minutes and then I'm going to cold call. After we're done with this is our lesson. We'll do our ticket out the door. And then we'll give you time to do your DUCS math today. Like the rest of, a lot of people are almost done unit 10 or are done, but we're going to give you some time to work on it.
I'm gonna let